Okay, so hi there. I'm Dave. This is Dave Splains, and we'll do all the spiel and everything. Last week, somebody went into a Christian school and shot a bunch of people in Madison, Wisconsin. Which my first thought was, "Holy cow, this happened in Wisconsin." The other part of that was, holy cow, this happened, and holy cow, it was a Christian school. And then my last thought on all of this was, a week before the winter break. I mean, no matter your religion or lack thereof, philosophy, um, we're going to call it winter break. So this video is basically about understanding why with the whole stress thing and some ideas. So, like and subscribe, but this is going to be one of those videos that I don't really expect to get a lot of subscribers or likes or anything like that. Now, my first thought was, or sorry, I shouldn't say it. We've already discussed my first thought. My thought coming away from this whole thing was, again, a week before the winter break, a week before Christmas and New Year's and times of good cheer. And I'm like, why? If school was that rough, you're about to go on break where you get to chill for almost 2 weeks. And in some cases, yes, 2 weeks of just chilling, where it's too cold to go outside. Sometimes you do go outside, you go sledding, you go ice skating, you do whatever. So many things, by the way, pretty free to do. You can go down a sledding hill on a piece of cardboard that you found. It's not, something that you need to spend hundreds of dollars on. People have been sledding down hills for at least generations. We'll just say generations. So, but that's not the point. The point is like, I expressed this to my wife, and my wife immediately says, well, it's the holidays, and holidays can be stressful. And I'm just like, yeah, but to shoot somebody, to kill somebody? What are we doing as a society? What are we doing where, instead of just being like, no, it's not a big deal. I only have to be at this place for a few hours a day. Then I get to go home and do whatever. That I say, no, I'm going to kill somebody or hurt somebody even. What are we doing here? I mean, gosh. And I mean, if there were reason enough to be that angry, I want you to understand something. I went to Christian schooling all my life. I shouldn't say that. In kindergarten and 4K, I went to a public school. After that, first grade through high school, I went to Christian schooling. I have 3 college degrees. I have children. I am married. I basically have done everything right. I joined the army. I fought for my country. I went to war. Did I mention the 3 college degrees? I drive a hybrid vehicle. Not electric, because this is Wisconsin and I can only drive the electric realistically 9 months out of the year. And that's not to say that I don't plan to do it electric. vehicle at some point for that reason, because I think for a commuter, an electric car is great. Um, but I do all these good things, and yet I am still unemployed. It started about a year ago. 2024 has been a harsh year. Harsh. Uh, for a lot of people, but like even my family. My wife has a college degree. She's an engineer. And this year has just been horrible. Um, Beginning of the year, lost my job. I basically automated myself out of a job. And to tell you the truth, I take very, um, I take a very high amount of pride in the fact that I will do the job correctly before I worry about my job security. My personal goal is to make revenue from multiple streams so that, you know, in the cases where I automate myself out and I get laid off because there's just not enough work for me to do anymore, that it doesn't hurt financially. But this year has sucked. I've had a few health problems this year. I sliced my finger. But I also did a lot of gardening. I repaired a gardening bed. I repaired a lot of toys that have been bugging me for my children. I reintegrated myself into Dave Splains again. I reinitialized it. I finished a program, for the most part anyway, operationally, that automates my crypto trading. Of course, I've also lost a little bit of money on that, but that's how the world works as far as I'm concerned. I picked up the violin, which is something that I've been wanting to do for a number of years. Gosh, there's been a lot of bad, but there's also been a lot of good. And the thing is like, if anybody had a reason to be pissed off, it's somebody who has accomplished so much and seems to almost be punished for it, when there are some people who have done so little and they're very well employed. I just choose not to do that. You know, I usually try to just focus on the good. I mean, yeah, I got this gash on my finger while waiting for this violin to come in, and trying to learn how to play has been really hard. I basically could get a couple of notes in and then I'd have to stop from the pain. You know, it sucked, but it is what it is. Financially, I think Christmas is going to be hard. But to go out and hurt somebody over it, I just don't think I could. There's just no point in that. And maybe it's just because of the fact that I've taken up a lot of hobbies this year. And it's not necessarily the hobbies, okay? It's the sudden realization that I can do so many things. Like, when we were kids, we would talk about, we would talk about the things that we could do. I can do a handstand. I can do a cartwheel. I can ollie on a skateboard. I can um, jump real high on my bike, or I can, do whatever. And now, as adults, a lot of us are like, meh. It's like you. I admit, I don't think I could do a handstand. I mean, you've probably seen my waistline. I think my wrists would snap if I tried to do a handstand. Um, but you know, learning how to play the violin is pretty neat. Um, Getting stronger in on networking as opposed to data science has been something that I've been doing a little bit more of as I've been building a server out of an old laptop. That's a fun story because somehow the USB key that I made to put the OS on the hard drive somehow missed the hard drive and went back and put it on the USB. I don't know how that happened, but basically my server is on a USB drive. I could fix it, but for right now, it's just kind of funny. Um, I just don't see how someone goes so low that they are going to hurt someone or themselves for that matter. Um, why did you guys stop? I'm building a violin. I actually picked this up for 36 bucks so that I could learn how to play while I'm building it, which is funny because the reason I'm building it is because I couldn't afford a violin. Wrap your mind ahead around that one. Just I ended up finding this one for 36 bucks, and a lot of times apparently it goes down in price. And I let it sit right underneath my riser here because this is my laptop. You know, um, I play and I learn how to do things. You got to think about the good. You've got to build yourself up. You know, um, you got to work on stuff. And I know, like, it can be so daunting to do, especially when you have family and work and everything else. You just want to kind of stop. But at the same time, like, if you're not constantly working on doing something new, then I guess in a way you could possibly stop appreciating life for what it is. And maybe that's how you get so down that you might hurt somebody. But I mean, in the long run, you know, while yes, you could get so mad that you hurt somebody, but then you have to live with what you've done. And in some cases, that's going to be really hard to do.